Hello students, welcome to the lecture. So students, as we know that we are covering the national integration. Okay, this is the topic on which we have been discussing. And basically, if we talk about this, then these are the topics that we have scheduled for the discussion under this particular series, like the introduction part, like the meaning of national integration, like the aims of national integration, like the roles of various factors in promoting the national integration, like the obstacles to the national integration, like the National Integration Council, like the National Foundation for Communal Harmony. Okay, so these are the topics that we have scheduled for the discussion. If we talk about the topics that we have covered so far, we have done with the introduction part, we have done with the meaning of national integration, we have done with the aims of national integration, we have done with the role of various factors that take the national integration. So these are the topics with which we have done. The topic on which we have been discussing right now, that is the obstacles to the national integration. Okay, so this is the topic on which we have been discussing. The topic that we are left with is the National Integration Council and the National Foundation for Communal Harmony. Okay, so this is the picture that we have created so far altogether. All right, so I hope in the previous lecture you have revised the things that we had discussed in the proper manner before you come for this lecture. As many times I have told you, that is for your own benefit. So if you are doing this on the regular basis, the thing will be beneficial for you. If you are not doing this on the regular basis, the thing will be hard for you. That is a clear cut. So let's start from where we had left. In the previous lecture, we have started with the communalism. All right. And we had discussed the communalism as an obstacle to the national integration. But we haven't discussed it properly. Okay, because there are some facts and figures that we missed out. Okay. So basically, if we talk about the communalism, then we know it is the love of a person for his own religious community. Instead of giving preference to the nation, he gives his love and his preference to the community religious to which he belongs. Okay. We also discussed that basically this is having the tendency to promote the communal interest at the cost of interest of other religious communities. All right. You can say promoting a communal interest. It means that promoting the interest of its own religion or community. Okay. Even at the cost of sacrificing the interest of the other religious communities. So that is basically showing the radicalization towards one own religion. Okay. We had discussed that this thing basically having its roots during the British rule in the 1909, then the 1919, then the 1935. These 3 years are also important in the history, like we discussed in the previous lecture. Okay, 1909 is known as the Monte-Morley reforms. Okay, 1919 known as the Chelmsford-Montagu reforms. 1935 known as the Government of India Act. Okay, so as we discussed in the previous lecture, in 1909 when the Morley-Minto reforms came into the picture, so that contained an idea to providing the separate communal electorate for the Muslims. Okay, it means if there is a Muslim candidate, then only a Muslim voter could cast a vote for him. Okay, and you can say the voters from other religious community could not cast a vote for the Muslim. That was the provision that brought up in 1909. Then we know in 1919 during the Chelmsford and Montagu reforms, that particular thing was extended further. It means that this communal representation was provided to the other communities as well, like the Sikh, like the Christians, like the Anglo-Indians, like the Buddhists, Jains, and other minority groups. Okay. Then we know in 1927 the Simon Commission was appointed, and as per the reports of Simon Commission, the three roundtable conferences were organized. And in 1932, the British Prime Minister Ramsay MacDonald provided the MacDonald Award, under which he provided the separate electorate for the religious minorities and the depressed class in the majorities. Okay, and the provisions of this were to be fulfilled in 1935. All right, and we had discussed this communalism was also accentuated with the politicization of the religion even after the independence, time to time, by the political leaders, the political parties for their own political interest. Okay, so that was the introduction of the communalism that we had completed in the previous lecture. Here I have just provided you an overview. In the previous lecture, I had a detail explained it. Okay, so if you haven't revised the previous lecture, please kindly go back and revise the first one, then come for this. Okay, so now after finishing the basic intro, now we are going to talk about the various manifestations of the communalism. Okay, what are the manifestations it contains? First is that the formation of political parties that are based on the religion. Okay, like the Akali Dal that represents the Sikh community, Muslim League, the Muslim community, Ram Rajya Parishad, the Hindu community, Hindu Mahasabha, Hindu community, Shiv Sena, also the Hindu community, and there are other organizations in India as well. All right. So if you look at these political parties, what are these? These are the political parties. It means they conquesting the election, okay, for making the government or ruling the area for a definite period of time. But if you will see the basis of their formation, then what you will get, basically these are based on the religion. And as we know, when we talk about the national integration, we require to merge all the things together. And if the religion stands out of them, then automatically our aim to fulfill the national integration would be disturbed. Okay, that was a common thing. Okay, so as I have told you, Akali Dal for Sikh people, Muslim League for Muslims, Ram Rajya Parishad for Hindu, the Hindu Mahasabha for Hindu, the Shiv Sena for Hindu. Okay, but here I will also ask you a simple question, that is year of formation of the Muslim. Okay, in which year the Muslim League was formed? So basically, if we look at this, what we will get, that Muslim League was basically formed in the year of 1906. It was the year of 1906 when the Muslim League was formed out. Okay, if we talk about Hindu Mahasabha, then 1927 was the year when the Hindu Mahasabha was formed out. Okay, so that was about the political party. That was the first manifestation under the communism. Second manifestation is the emergence of the pressure groups. So what are the pressure groups? What do you mean by them? So basically we will discuss about them in the you can say particular series. Till then, just remember, the pressure groups are the non-political entities. It means that if someone asks you, like, what is the difference between the political parties that's raised on the basis of religion, and what is the difference between the pressure groups? Okay, if someone asks you that question, then you can say these political parties are basically containing the name itself, political. It means that they are basically working to get into the government after the elections. But pressure groups are basically the non-political entities. It means that they has nothing to do with the formation of the government after the elections. Why? Because they are non-political entities. Okay, but if we look at the similarities same. Means the political parties also, you can say, created on the basis of religion, and the pressure groups are also created on the basis of religion. And if we talk about these pressure groups, then these are the RSS, Rashtriya Seva Sangh. Okay, that is based on the Hindu religion. Vishwa Hindu Parishad, that is also based on the Hindu religion. Jamaat Islami, that is based on the Muslim religion. Anglo-Indian Christians Association, that is based on the Christianity. And there are also too many groups. Okay, like even you can say Waris Punjab Day. Nowadays it is in the news. All right. So Waris Punjab Day is also a pressure group, which is the non-political entity. Now many of us will counter that the Amritpal Singh that was elected to the Lok Sabha, okay, recently, he was the member and the founder of the Waris Punjab. So if Waris Punjab Day, I say that Waris Punjab Day is a pressure group, non-political entities, then how could be it members elected to the Lok Sabha? Then basically, here we are talking about the non-political entities and we are talking about the group. We are not talking about the pressure individual. What we are talking about? We are talking about the pressure group. We are not talking about the entity. We are talking about the entities. All right. It means that the group is non-political, but its members could be political. I'm repeating the same. The group is non-political, but its members could be political. So the group of Waris Punjab Day is non-political, but the candidate of it, the member of it, Amritpal Singh, may be the political person. And now he is political. Why? Because he got elected. All right. After this, the third manifestation is the communal riots. Okay. It means that when the two or more different communities that belong to the different religion, that one community belong to the Hindu religion, one community belong to the Muslims, one Christian, one Sikh, one Buddha, one Jain, one Jewish, and all. All right. When these communities basically start fighting with each other on the basis of religion, that is known as the communal rights. Okay, and these could be between any community, like the Hindus and Muslims. Okay, like the Hindus and Sikhs. Okay, like the Hindus and Christians, and many other. All right. Even if we talk about the vulnerable cities, since the history they have been remain as a vulnerable cities, then the examples are Banaras, okay, Lucknow, Mathura, the state of Hyderabad, Allahabad, Aligarh, Amritsar, Muradabad, and some other places are being affected by the communal violence. Why? Because these places containing the mixed population as like other places, but here is the imbalance and the social instability that has been reported amongst the different segments of the communities. That is the reason why these states experiences the high communal violence than others. Okay, and why we regarded them as a highly vulnerable section or highly vulnerable cities to the communal riots. Now let's move forward. The fourth aspiration is disputes over the religious structures. Dispute over the religious structures, like the disputes over the structures of temple, the mosques, the churches, and others. Okay. And if we talk about the famous disputes, then one of the famous disputes is the Ram Janan, that is in Ayodhya. Okay. That has been India's one of the most famous and one of the most longest dispute on the basis of religious structures. Okay. So if we look at it, then we know Now there is a Ram Mandir in the India. Okay, but here is the question that I'm going to ask you. Like we know, the dispute over the Ram Mandir or the Ram Janmabhoomi is not started recently. It has been in the country for a longer duration. So you are required to recall when the first time the Ram Janmabhoomi dispute was reported on the legal terms. When was the first time the dispute over the Ram Janmabhoomi was reported to the legal means? Okay, and to answer this, you will have the 20 seconds, and your time starts now. Okay, the time's up. So basically, for the first time, the Ram Janmabhoomi dispute was reported during the British time in the year of 1855. 1855. 1855 was the year when the first time the legal records contains the dispute over the Ram Janmabhoomi. All right. Thereafter, the major change came into the picture when the car savers demolished the disputed structure on the December 6, 1990. Okay, so that has been one of the India's most devastated dispute. If we talk about the reasons, if we talk about the reasons for the persistence of communism, okay, like why the communism is still existing in the country, okay, so basically that includes the various factors like the religious orthodoxy of the Muslims, like they consider that if someone is not following the Islam, then he is a kafir. All right, that is generally the rule of terrorism. Also, this is a central point. Thereafter, the rule of Pakistan. Okay, Pakistan, which is our neighbor, that has been playing a significant role in generating the fire of communism amongst the Indians. All right. Thereafter, the Hindu chauvinism, like the Hindus also always considered that India is only belong to the Hindus. All right, that is our manifestations. So basically, they want only the Hindu must be superior than the other community. Okay. Then of course the governments in India, like as I have told you, the governments over the period of time did not work anything concurrently to removing the communism. Okay. The role of political parties and other groups. Okay. Like the political parties that has been created on the basis of religion. These political parties were, you can say, moreover inclined towards promoting the policies and promoting the interest of the religion on the basis of which they formed. Like if we talk about Akali Dal, Sikhism, Hindu Mahasabha, Hindus, Muslim League, Muslims, this kind of. All right. Other groups here basically you can say denotes the pressure groups. Basically denotes the pressure groups. Okay. Thereafter the electoral compulsions, communal media, and the socio-economic factors and so on. Okay. Electoral compulsions. What is the meaning of this? What you're getting it from here? So basically, as I have told you in the previous lecture also, when we talk about the electorate, okay, so electorate is basically the composition of the voters, okay, or you can say the group of voters. So generally, what happens whenever there is election time? Whenever there is election time in the country, so the you can say the contesting candidates generally prefer to push the religious interest of the community that is the large number of the composition of voters. Or you can say, suppose if we are talking about the A, electoral A, the Hindus are in the majority. Then the candidates who are contesting the elections from that area, they will try to provoke Hindus. If the Muslims are in the majority, they will go after Muslims. If the Christians, they will go after Christians. If Sikhism, Buddhist, and Jainis, then they will go after them. Okay. But what happened because of this? Basically, instead of promoting the national interest, instead of talking about the national, you can say issue, the conquesting electors basically, you can say, pays the speed regarding the electoral benefits, regarding the communal benefits. All right, communal media, like while we were discussing about the role of various factors in promoting the national integration. So there was a major, as we had discussed, the major role was of the media. Okay, and how media impacts the community, how it could done. So basically, you can say the media is having the responsibility to present what happened. All right, and everyone, whether it's a teenager, adolescent, adult, or even the older, younger, and you can say these kind of people, all of us watching the cinemas, all of us watching the media. So whatsoever we are watching on them, whatsoever we are watching TV shows and all, basically that is going in our mind, and basically that is formulating a picture regarding our surroundings in our mind. So if the media, on a continuous basis, the media is talking about only the communal violence, community and all, so automatically the viewer will start developing the thoughts regarding it. Automatically, there is no need for other kind of, automatically he will. Okay. And if we are talking about the media, then why should not we just make a little bit quiz of the previous facts? Okay. So the question is that the first speaking movie of India was released in the year of, that is the first. The first movie of India, that's the first speaking movie of India, was released in the year of, and what was the name? To answer this question, you will have the 30 seconds to think and answer. Your time starts now. 10 seconds have been passed, last 20 are remaining. Okay, last 10 seconds. So the correct answer is Alam Ara. Alam Ara was the first speaking movie of the country that was released in the year of 1931. The second question is also related with the same. The first colored movie in India was released in which? Again, I'm repeating. The first colored movie in India was released in which year? To answer this, again, I will give you 30 seconds, then I will give you the answer. So your time starts now. 10 seconds have been passed, last 20 are remaining. Okay, so the correct answer is Kishan Kanhaiya. Okay, Kishan Kanhaiya was the India's first colored movie that was released in the year of 1937. Okay, so these were some of the questions. If we talk about the socio-economic factors, like these are little bit the society in which we are living, and economic, it means using the common resources that we have in the country. All right, so that's it. So students, basically in this lecture, we have finished with the communism. Okay, we have completed the obstacle of communism while achieving the national integration. It's my humble request to all of you, kindly go and revise the lecture in the proper sense before you go for the another lecture. Why? Because all of these things are very similar in listening and even reading. Okay, but if the analytical question asked in the examination that is belong to these areas, if you haven't revised the topic, I guarantee I guarantee you that you won't be able to attend this lecture. Why? Because you won't be able to grasp the figures. Okay, so that's why it's a request. Kindly go and revise the lectures before you go for the another lecture. Okay, so with this notes, let end this lecture and thank you.